RJ Bates. I was calling about your property there on Nita Street. Looked like you had entered it on my website saying that you were looking to sell. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. How much were you looking to get for that? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. How much were you looking to get for that?
I'm having it for 250.
250?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about what you got going on. I said, tell me a little bit about what you got going on.
It's just a house. I just wanted to sell the house. It's a large house, and it's getting too much for me.
Gotcha. What's the condition like?
It's in pretty good condition. I mean, I'm not confident. I can't tell you.
Is anything broken on it? Does anything like AC, roof, anything like that need to be replaced?
Probably needs an air conditioner.
Okay. When was the last time you like painted it or replaced the floors or anything like that?
I never replaced the floors.
Never. Okay.
We moved in here in 1985.
1985.
And yeah. I'm not talking about the wood part of the floors. I haven't replaced. Yeah, I've done something. I put in tile.
Okay.
Gosh, I guess it's been 20 years. It was before Johnny died, and Jonathan got 24 years, and I did it before he died.
Okay. All right, and you said it is large. What is it, like 3,100 square feet?
Yeah, something like that. But I think it's 45.
Gotcha.
Or 20. Wait a minute. It's about 2,800 feet.
Gotcha. Okay. You've got a
4 bedrooms. It's 4 bedrooms and 3 baths.
Okay. And you've got a large lot too.
Yeah, well, the lot's right at 2 acres.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind me asking, you said 250,000. How did you come up with that number?
Someone told me that I could get 250 for it.
Okay. Was that a realtor or a friend, or who was that?
It was a realtor.
Gotcha. So are you thinking about listing it on the market if you don't get an offer from an investor?
I don't know. What's the market like?
It's a little bit interesting because it's election time. So everybody gets a little bit skittish around election time. You know what I'm saying? No. So everybody normally, about this time of the year on elections gets a little bit, they don't know what's going to happen, right? Who's going to get elected? What's that going to do to interest rates and stuff like that? So it's always a little bit unique. Outside of that, I mean, it's about the same as it has been over the past couple of years. Interest rates really changed in 2022, but outside of that, it's been pretty normal over the past 2 years. I just say, I've noticed over the past couple of weeks, because this is what I do all day, every day, that things have tightened up a little bit, where people are a little bit afraid to either buy or sell. They just don't know what's going to happen. So normally that's what happens, but the election will be over in a month or so, and then we'll go right back to normal no matter who gets elected. So I'd say in your circumstance, what's that?
What is going for the market?
As far as dollar amount for you?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at right now. You have kind of a unique property because you're surrounded by a lot of properties that have been built in the 90s and early 2000s, and yours was obviously built in 1955. You also have more land than the majority of people. I would say average days on market for you is probably going to be somewhere in the range of 90 to 100 days. And then depending upon the condition, I could see on the market your house going anywhere between probably 250 to 300,000. With you saying that you haven't replaced some of the floors and air conditioner and stuff like that, I would say it's probably going to be on the lower end. For right.
You said that now it looked like hardwood.
Yes, ma'am.
I put that down. It's not the big planks, it's the smaller planks.
Right. So what I would say is, you could probably get, especially, did that realtor come see the property? Did they walk it and see the condition when they told you 250?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if they came and they saw it, then I'm assuming they're an expert in the area, and they probably know more than what I can see without seeing the property. So I would assume on the market you'd probably get 250,000. I'll tell you, from my side as an investor, I am going to be lower than that, but there are no fees associated with that. So there's no commissions. We cover the closing costs and things like that. And the other part is we can work on your timeline and whatever is important to you. If that is of importance, then we can work around that. If you're just trying to get the most money out of the property, then I would suggest listing it with the realtor on the market.
Mm-hmm.
So really, that's up to you on what's the most important aspect of this transaction for you. Is it to get the most money?
Well, he told me to sell it. See, I'm just one woman, and I'm not capable of a lot of things. And I can't do all the things that you would normally do for yourself. My husband was still alive, we would. But right now, I'm by myself and don't have any options other than that.
Right. Well, I totally get that. But from the sale of the property, what's the most important thing to you? Is it to get as much money as possible, or is it convenience?
Get as much money as possible.
Correct. Okay, then I would.
That's a convenience.
That is a convenience. Yeah.
Yes.
I completely understand. So I think in that circumstance, hiring that realtor would probably be the best option for you. They're going to get you the most amount of money.
Well, I've already been using him. And I got property out in the country. And I haven't gotten the max out of that.
Gotcha. So you have another property out in the country that you're trying to sell, and he hasn't been able to sell that yet?
No, there's one piece he sold.
Okay.
And it was down kind of close to Blount County, Walnut Grove, and they went through and cleaned the channel of the river up. And it backed water up over one piece of the property, and it went from about 5 acres down to 1 acre. And then he was able to sell that one, but the rest of it he hasn't sold.
How long has he had it listed?
Over a year.
Oh, geez. You don't want to hold on to this property for a year, right?
I was hoping not to. I figured it'd take me 60 to 90 days to get out. My mother just had died.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Mother got enough to a bunch of things. And I gave her the apartment on one end of the house, and it is loaded down.
Okay.
And so that's where I stand right now. I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to get onto this.
All right. Well, let me see what I can do here, because I can at least give you a number and see if that's something you could work with.
Okay.
Okay. Like I said, it is going to be less than that 250 number that your realtor said, but like this is not, there's no commissions or anything else. This would just be a net number to you because you don't owe anything on the property, right?
No.
Okay. Roughly, we're going to be in the 175 to 180 range.
Okay. How long would it take to sell it?
Probably about 30 days. But if you needed more time, we could be ready in 30 days, but we could give you as much time as you need to get your stuff packed up, move, do you have another place to go to?
No.
What's your plan there? Are you going to buy another house with the proceeds or rent or yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because I can't pay rent.
Right.
I'm on a fixed income and I can't pay rent. I love this house. I hate to leave it, but I have other things that are pulling on me too.
So there's a couple of options. One of the things that we could do is if you're okay with that number, we could also help you find another property. Are you wanting to stay in Rainbow City, move closer to Birmingham? Where do you want to go?
I hadn't even seriously thought about where I wanted to go. I thought about going into a tiny house, but I don't know if I could live in a tiny house.
Yeah, that's a big difference from 3,100 square feet, you know.
Yeah, it is. It's a big difference because you're looking at 1,500 in a tiny house.
No, a tiny house is a lot smaller. You're probably talking about 400 to 600 square feet. 1,500 would just be a normal house. That's just a normal 3-bed, 2-bath. But these are things that we could help you with finding like what is available for the amount of money that you would be getting, right? We could find houses that are available in that price point. We could show you, the houses that are on the market, whether that's in Rainbow City or anywhere, any of the surrounding areas. And we can make this a little bit like there doesn't need to be a rush. And this is what I meant by convenience. Like if you need time, if it needs to take, 90 to 120 days for us to find you the right house for you to move into, then we don't have to do anything until that 90 to 120 days comes up. Now it could be, hey, you decide you want to do this and next week we find the perfect house for you and then we could speed up the process. It just depends on, really, we just want to make sure that you get what you want out of it.
Okay. When I moved in here, I never thought about ever possibly wanting to move. Ever. But, I didn't see Johnny and my mother both dying. Nobody lives forever. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Yeah, it's sometimes that stuff happens and you just don't even know how you would react until it does happen. My dad passed away 12 years ago. Left my mom in the house that they probably planned on living in forever. My grandmother passed away a couple of years ago, and same thing. Suddenly, real estate becomes a part of the reaction, right? Because now it's like, well, what am I going to do with all of this house? What am I going to? This person took care of this. How does that get handled now? So I completely understand, and I know it's a tough situation. That's why I wanted to just be upfront with you early on, where it's like, hey, I know that you could get more money with listing with a realtor, but I also know that there's no guarantee that you're going to get that amount of money. And I know that it could be a lengthy process. And so if there's an opportunity for us to be able to come in and give you still a significant amount of money and help you find a new place and do it on a time frame where you're not stressed about whether or not your house is going to sell, it's just you're more focused on finding the new home, then I think that's definitely, we would be the right solution for you in that case.
Okay, and who are y'all?
My name is RJ Bates, and my company is Titanium Investments. And the person that I would want to help you find your new home, her name is Kaylin Sargent.
Mm. What size you think the new home would be?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you have any idea of what you think the new home would be, the size of?
I can look here real quick. You mean what the size for that dollar amount?
Yeah, I like having that dollar amount left over.
Let's see. There's a property inside of Rainbow City that's for sale for $185,000. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. So literally the size that you said. There's another property that's a 3-bed, 2-bath for $195,000. That's 1,300 square feet. So you would be able to downsize and probably have more fixed up, like newer remodeled property for that dollar amount, and you'd probably be somewhere in the 12 to 1,500 square foot range.
Well, that's about what I'm using now. But it's got an apartment on one end.
Right.
Which I had turned into 2 offices and mother's apartments in there too. I mean, she had a bedroom in there, a bath. And, well, no, mother really had 2 bedrooms and a bath left in there. I got put 2 offices in. And it was a very comfortable size house like that. We weren't crowded by the office, and we weren't crowding the office.
Yeah, I think with a 1,500 square foot house, I mean, with it just being you, I think that's going to be, I think it would be very comfortable.
One realtor that came down here, he said, if I had this house and those offices, he said, I'd never get out of them.
Right.
I'd never leave them. Because it was big, comfortable offices, 2 of them. And my partner died. And I just didn't want to do the business by myself.
Right.
And I didn't reach out for another partner.
What kind of business were you running?
Income tax.
Okay. Did you like doing that?
Accounting and income tax. And what did you ask me?
Said, did you like doing that?
Yes. Yes, but I had when mother got sick, and when I had died, well, I just gave it all up for my mama.
Right.
And I'd have to go back and study and you know, do a lot of brushing up. Because the tax laws change every couple of years.
I am very aware as an entrepreneur. They love changing those tax laws on us.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
They really do. And I'm sure they're very changed from what it was when I walked out of it in 2020.
Right.
That tax season I did. And I'd be afraid to go back into it now without a lot of studying.
Well, let me ask you. I mean, I know that this is the first time we've talked, and it's kind of out of the blue. But it looks like you need to sell the house, right? It's too big for you. That I think that's my best option, is to make you that cash offer, and then just offer you the support on finding a new property and doing it on the time frame that you need, however long that takes. Does that sound like something that you would be interested in doing?
Yeah, there's a lady who wants to do a yard sale for me to start with.
Okay.
And really get rid of this stuff before I get out of it.
Yeah, and like I said, we would give you plenty of time to do whatever you need as far as a yard sale, packing your stuff up, all of that stuff.
Well, this is not a good area to do a yard sale, is it?
You're a little bit out there. But hey, if you talk to someone that does yard sales and she wants to do it, I would trust her and let her come in and see what she can do for you.
Okay, but it is way out here. I had a yard sale one time after I first moved down here, and there wasn't many people showed up.
Right.
I'm serious. And we had the whole front yard full.
Well, maybe it's better to just, I don't know. I mean, is it the stuff that you're going to be selling? Is it valuable, or is it just stuff that you need to get rid of?
But mostly stuff that I don't have room for. If I move somewhere else, that would be the problem.
Right.
So I would need to get rid of some of it.
Yeah. It might be best just to get rid of it instead of trying to sell it. I mean, I know we cherish our belongings, but if you're selling it and you feel like the yard sale might be difficult, it might be best just to get rid of it,
Well, how do you get rid of it?
Oh, there's people you could call and say, hey, come out here, and they'll just come out and they'll literally just remove it and either sell it themselves or just trash it, depending on if it has any value or not. That's a lot of times when we buy houses and people want to leave the stuff, that's what we do, is we kind of just come in and go through it, see if there's anything valuable. If there's not, then we just trash it, to be honest with you.
When they sell it as is, that's what you do with it?
Right. There's times where people just say, hey, I can't take this. But with everything that we do like that, which we could do that with you, I'll just be honest with you, it costs us money to remove that. So then it's less money that we give you. So I'd prefer to give you as much as I possibly can. And if we could figure out a time frame in which you could, either give it away or do a yard sale or whatever we need to do, then we give you that time to do that.
Mm-hmm. That kind of sounds like a winner to me. That if I couldn't sell it in the yard sale, then I could just sell it as is.
Right.
The stuff in it, is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. It's one of the strangest closes of all time. Yeah, I mean, we could absolutely do that. I mean, we could, we would just have to figure out how much it would cost us to remove that stuff. And then we would just deduct that from your proceeds. So we would let you know. But again, you could try to sell it in the meantime and take that time where we're trying to find you another place, and then whatever you need to leave behind, you would just let us know, and we figure out how much it would cost to remove it, and then we would deduct that from your price. So you said that sounds like a winner. So my question to you is how
you determined how much it was worth, and you would deduct it from my price.
right?
Is that what you said?
Correct. To remove the belongings, it would probably run in the range of probably either a couple. I would say max a couple of $1,000s. I mean, I don't know how much stuff you have. I mean, so we would have to see it, but it's not going to be like a significant amount of money.
Well, it's loaded down.
So you got a lot of stuff.
Mother was an accumulator, and she had a lot of stuff that had accumulated, and that was my biggest problem. When my mother, we used to argue and fuss over a lot with all the stuff that she kept. And because to mother, it was very valuable. It was hers, and
right.
She considered it valuable. And getting rid of it was a pain with her.
Let me ask you a question. Are there rooms that we cannot get into because of stuff, or can we get into every room?
You can get into them, but I've got stuff in them.
Okay.
In some of them.
Is that every room or just a couple?
No, not every room.
Okay.
No.
All right.
My living room, there's a living room, a kitchen, and this bedroom that I'm in, and there's 2 bedrooms on over, and a bath. It's got 3 baths and 4 bedrooms.
Yes, ma'am. So what I would say is with the belongings, I would say let's not worry about that right now. Let's do the yard sale. Someone said that they want to try it. We tried that. There's also people that we could call and say, hey, come out and see if you just want to remove the stuff, because they might see value in it. It might be stuff that they could sell themselves. And then worst case scenario, we come back and we say, hey, it's going to cost us $2,000 to remove the stuff. And then you have the right to say yes or no to that. You can say, okay, I'm okay with that, or no, I want to try to remove it myself, or hire somebody to remove it, or whatever. And we could decide that later on. I don't want to get hung up on the stuff because it doesn't sound like it's through the whole house. It sounds like it's just a couple of rooms. And I don't think that should be that big of a sticking point.
Well, it's the mother's apartment. She never used it. She packed it up and never used it. And the kitchen cabinets are pretty full. But it's that way. Mother was old. Mother died at 97. And, she had her...
I thought she just died.
Her hang-ups. Her hurts and her hang-ups about this stuff.
Gotcha.
So, a lot of times mother would figure a different price on something from what everybody else did, because it was hers.
Gotcha.
And she had a lot of value in it because it was hers. And I told her over and over that we were going to move and that we're going to have to downsize it, but mother never did downsize.
Right.
Because she was 97 years old, and my goodness, she was set in her ways, and she was used to holding on to things.
Okay. I was so confused there for a second. I now, When you said 97, I thought you meant she passed away in 97, but she was 97 years old when she passed away.
Yes, she was 97 this year.
Gotcha. Okay, so she just now passed away.
Yes.
Okay.
She was dead 2 weeks yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
That's how recent it is. And it's hard to think of even getting rid of her stuff that she treasured so much. Because, you know, it has a different value to everybody else than it does to me, and that it had to her. It's like her cars were that way. And I finally got her to sell her last car.
Man, I'm so sorry to hear that. I didn't realize it was so recent.
It was. It was really, really recent. And I had my mother for 78 years.
Yeah.
So it's just a really a big sore spot.
I understand.
There's a lot of hurts and hang-ups on it. My children don't help me. They didn't help any with mother while she was sick. I mean, not even running errands for me, nothing.
Well, this is where we want to help, right? We deal with a lot of situations like this. It's a very sensitive topic, right? I want to be as sympathetic to your situation. I don't want to try to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. So I kind of want to just leave it in your hands, and you know, you tell me what you would like to do, because I don't want you to rush into anything. I don't want you to make a decision that you regret or anything like that. So I just want to let you know this is what I could do for you. I could obviously buy the house. I could buy the house as fast as 30 days or as long as you need. I can help you find a new home, and I can help you with the belongings. That is, I know without a doubt, those are the things that I can do to help you. And it sounds like you're not getting much help from other people. But I know that those are the things that my company, I know that we can help you with that. I can buy the house, help you find a new house, and I can help you with the belongings.
Okay. Well, I know I'm gonna have to leave it.
Okay.
And I'm just lost. I don't even know who I would get to help me move in another one.
We can also help you with that. We can definitely find you movers. Now you would have to pay for the movers, but you could use the proceeds from the house to pay for them. But that's absolutely something that we can help you out with as well.
What's the mover usually charge?
It's going to depend upon really how long it takes them. But it's probably just going to be for a whole house like that. Probably, I would assume $1,500.
Okay. That's not bad. I expected to be more. I've run into some things lately that I thought I had a concrete price on, but they ended up more than that. This is my, well, I've been with it twice, and you think that I would have learned the first time. But I got pretty well settled in this house, and he seemed to like it, and he seemed like it was going to work. But my mama had different ideas. Very different ideas. And she clashed. On the second marriage, she clashed. On the first one, she didn't. But the second marriage, she really clashed. And then I'm left here holding the bag of all of it.
Right. Well, what if we do this? I think I have. Are you at the house every day?
Yes, I'm at the
Yeah.
just about every day. Sometimes it's on up in the day before I leave.
Right. What if I call Kaylin, the person that would help you find the new house, and I have Kaylin come out to the house, sit down, talk to you about what you're looking for with your new house, the areas in which you'd be open to move to. She could probably bring a computer and show you what properties are available, so you could gotta start getting an idea of what it would look like to move into a new home. And if you like working with Kaylin and you feel like that could be an opportunity, then I can also have her bring the contract for the purchase of this property, and y'all can talk about that and see if this is something you want to move forward with working with us. And that would also allow us to see how many belongings are there in the different rooms, and we could probably get a better idea of pricing that out. Does that sound like something that you'd be open to doing?
Yeah, now that's a girl.
Yes.
That has gotten a little bit involved in this. She told about that she wanted this done and that done. But I think that what she's wanting to do is to purchase this house for her son. And so I don't think she wouldn't have access to funds like you do.
Correct.
And so I don't know if she could do it for him or not.
And who is that? Is that a neighbor or who is that?
It's a friend that I've had for years, and she has a son, and that son has kind of dictated her. In fact, he ruined one relationship for her because he's just gonna move in when he got ready and take his wife and kids in.
Right. Well, one of the things that I've always tried to stick to, and I haven't done a perfect job of it, but I try not to mix friends and family and business. It normally doesn't work out too well. So maybe that's something to keep in mind. But if you haven't signed a contract with them or anything like that, then
No contract.
Yeah, then you could proceed with whoever you would like, whether it's somebody else, us, or anybody.
Yeah.
So would you like for me to call Kaylin and see when she's available to come out there, and then I could give you a call back and we could get scheduled that meeting?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do that real quick. Let me call Kaylin and see when she's available. And then are you available tomorrow if she is?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my cell phone, see if it's here handy, because I've got so many spam calls. It calls in on this phone. It's unreal.
Well, save this number because this is definitely not a spam call. And this is the one that I'd be calling you back from, okay? I believe she either answered the call or muted me because we are still on the line, but she is silent and it went radio silent. Did you mute me on accident? Okay, well, I can't hear you anymore. So what I'm going to do is, if you can hear me, I'm going to call Kaylin and I'm going to give you a call back. I hope you heard that. Man, okay. All right. Whoa.
What a call.
I've been doing live seller calls for almost 5 years now. That is one of the crazier ones.
And it would happen.
Amazing job hanging in there.
Thank you.
few minutes in, I would have been like, yeah, I'm going to move on. That's why I was not good at real estate right there.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I thought the same thing. I mean, I was like, okay, she's just going to talk my ear off and this isn't going to go anywhere. And she wants too much. I mean, we were $75,000 apart. But again, this is where I saw some of the comments, $75,000 apart, but asking questions, listening, identifying. Dude, I don't think we found out until 25, 30 minutes into the call about certain aspects of what were important, her pain, her motivation. It's crazy.